Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining us, and welcome to Edinburgh Reproducibility, the first session of the 2024 autumn semester, I guess. Um, so yeah, I'm just kind of going to give an overview of kind of what's going on around the university, and kind of a background of what is open research and reproducibility and things like that. So I just kind of wanted to start with a little bit on how to kind of contribute to reproducibility in these sessions. So feel free to contribute in the chat box or by raising your hand. We'll usually do like discussion sections at the end of the sessions, so we have a lot of chats in there. Or just feel free to sit back and listen if you don't want to do that kind of active participation. We're not going to force anyone to talk or force anyone to say anything. Um, Feel free to keep your camera on or off in any of the recorded portions. If your camera's on, you will probably appear in the recording, but once I've stopped the recording and we go into more kind of informal discussions, feel free to switch your camera on, or keep it off if you prefer. And yeah, it goes without saying, be respectful to others, anyone that is here. We're all coming from different backgrounds and levels of experience. And yeah, we're all just a little bit different. So just be respectful of where anyone's coming from. Um, some prep for later, so I don't scare anyone. After the recorded portion, we will be doing a sort of drawing activity. So either get a piece of paper and a pen and pencil ready, or you could use the Paint app on your computer. If you don't have pen and paper ready, that's going to be at the end. That's not in the recorded part, but I just wanted to have something fun for our first session back. Yeah, so kind of starting with what is open research. There's lots of different terms that people use: open research, open science, and open scholarship. And they're all kind of describing pretty much the same thing. But what I've got here is the definition of open science from UNESCO, and that says that it's a set of principles and practices that aim to make scientific research from all fields accessible to everyone for the benefit of scientists and society as a whole. And it's about making sure not only that scientific knowledge is accessible, but also that the production of that knowledge itself is inclusive, equitable, and sustainable. Which all sounds fantastic and great. Here at the University of Edinburgh, we tend to talk about open research a bit more, so I would just kind of put the word research anywhere that the word science appears in that statement. And I think we can kind of maybe all agree that that statement, yeah, is something that we kind of should be striving for in our research and making research better and inclusive and transparent and accessible. From UNESCO as well, they've got a set of values and principles. I don't know how well this kind of shows up on the screen because the text is quite small and the kind of the contrast of the text and the colours isn't fantastic. But they've essentially got 4 values and 6 principles, and the values are quality and integrity, collective benefit, equity and fairness, and diversity and inclusiveness. And the principles are transparency, scrutiny, critique, and reproducibility, equality of opportunities, responsibility, respect and accountability, collaboration, participation and inclusion, flexibility, and sustainability. And you can read a lot more about the UNESCO values in their Open Science Recommendations report, which I've kind of linked to. So what is reproducible research? I kind of feel like openness and transparency is the precursor to reproducibility. So we can't make things reproducible unless things are transparent, so we kind of know what's going on. And the Turing Way have this sort of diagram which talks about all the kind of the different definitions that you can have of reproducibility. I think here at Edinburgh Reproducibility, we tend to kind of use it as a kind of very broad sort of definition of reproducibility, but kind of more granular definitions are when you're doing, for instance, the same analysis with the same data as reproducibility, but looking at different analyses with different data is more about things like generalizability, and you've got replicability and robustness in there as well. And again, there's a lot more information on the Turing Way website on kind of all things reproducibility related. So then moving on, what is Edinburgh reproducibility? You should kind of know a little bit about it because you're here. But essentially it is an early career researcher run journal club. Or here it's kind of a bit more of a seminar series about all things kind of open research and reproducibility related. Reproducibility is a global initiative, so there's journal clubs set up all over the world, but here at the University of Edinburgh, reproducibility is part of the Edinburgh Open Research Initiative, which I'll talk about a bit more in a moment. And yeah, our aim is just to kind of have sessions that anyone can come to, whether you're in the university or whether you're external. And yeah, very kind of informal vibes. You know, we're all here because we're interested in similar things, but we're not going to make it too formal or too rigid. And absolutely anyone is welcome to come along and listen or contribute or be part of this. So ways that you can participate in reproducibility, I'd assume that you're on our mailing list because you're here. But please do share our mailing list with other people so that they can sign up. So kind of further up in the chat now is where I posted all those links. So the mailing list link is in there. Our sessions are typically an hour long. They tend to be on the second Friday of the month, but you'll realise this is not the second Friday of September, and that's because I was a little bit flustered in kind of coming up with this session. September rolls around really quickly. But recordings for all the sessions, so this recording, for instance, will be available on our YouTube channel, and we also share blogs on our website. Again, these links are in the post that I put in the chat. Edinburgh Open Research Initiative, or EORI, as we're called, is a wider open research grassroots initiative that's within the University of Edinburgh. We have a Microsoft Teams channel where you can kind of post anything open research or reproducibility related. That's available for people in the university, or I think you can also join if you're external as well. But if you're external and you're not able to join, please let me know and I can work that out. Also, that link should be further up in the chat, so you can join that and kind of be part of our wider community as well. And we're always looking for volunteers. So we have a couple people probably coming along just now. I can't see everyone who's in the meeting, so I don't know if everyone's here, but our current sort of EORI committee is myself, Will Cawthorne, Fiona Ramage, Francesca Tisdale, Alex Colty, and I'm forgetting people's names, and Joanna Dimitrova. Not sure if you're there, don't think so. You can see information about everyone on the website as well. And yeah, if you want to kind of help us organize things, please let us know and join our lovely team. I'm coming to the end of my PhD, so this will probably be my last year running reproducibility, and I think Fiona is going to be potentially taking over a little bit more, but I'd be really keen to have other volunteers who can kind of learn as the process goes and everyone can kind of contribute. So that would, if you're interested, like please do let us know and help us run very cool things. And yes, so now kind of talking a little bit about the open research support that is available in the university. We have centralised support that's led by Kerry Miller, who's definitely here. We have an annual open research conference every year. That's usually around May, and I believe we'll be having another one in 2025. It's all very exciting, and you can visit their website to learn more, and you can sign up to the Edinburgh Open Research newsletter. Again, those links are in the chat. And yeah, that was kind of the end of the recorded portion of this session. But next time, and just for the benefit of anyone who's watching the recording, next time on Friday, the 11th of October, we'll be having Sean Smith talk about the iRise project. Sean's definitely in the chat. I can see his little introduction. So that should be really great. So thank you for joining us this time, and I will stop the recording so that we can go on to more of the discussion sections.